Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. Recently, we have received somber news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. We will also recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. French acting star Alain Delon, whose many iconic roles included Le Samouraï, Plein, Soleil, and the Leopard, has died in France at the age of 88. The actor's children said in a statement that their father had passed away in the early hours of Sunday, surrounded by his family and beloved Belgian shepherd Lewy, in his longtime chateau home in the village of Douchy, in the Lewy region, some 100 miles south of Paris. Delon's death marks the passing of one of the last surviving icons of the French cinema scene of the 1960s and 70s, when the country was on an economic roll as it reconstructed in the wake of World War II. The star, who was at the peak of this career from the 1960s to the 1980s, fell into acting by chance. Born on November 8, 1935 in the Paris suburb of Sceaux, he had a turbulent childhood after his parents divorced when he was still young. After training briefly as a butcher in his stepfather's business, he entered military school at the age of 17. After being caught stealing equipment, he was given the choice of expulsion or signing up for a tour of duty in Southeast Asia. Delon fought in the Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954, but wound up in trouble again after he crashed a Jeep he had stolen and returned to France in 1956. Having moved to Paris, where he did odd jobs to make ends meet, Delon got his first introduction to the cinema world through his relationship with actress Brigitte Aubert, who had recently appeared in Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief. After they hooked up, she took him to the Cannes Film Festival in 1957, where he met the actor and director Jean-Claude Brialy, as well as his future agent Georges Baume. "I came down with a girl that I liked, who loved me. I took it all in, did the red carpet, but even then, I felt at home. Not least, and I say this without pretension, because it was made clear to me that I was not bad looking," he told a Cannes masterclass in 2019. His next big break came via the actress Michel Cordoue, with whom he had an affair. She convinced her husband, director Yves Allégret, to give him a small role in his film Quand la femme s'en mêle. Delon was candid about the role women had played in his early career. "If I hadn't met the women I met, I would have died long ago. It's the women, I don't know why, who loved me, who got me into this profession, who wanted me to do it, and who fought for me to do it," he told a masterclass at the Cannes Film Festival in 2019. His career took off quickly from there, with Delon then appearing in Marc Allégret's Sois belle et tais-toi, which also featured Jean-Paul Belmondo in the cast, followed by Pierre Gaspard Huit's Christine, which would see Delon appear opposite Romy Schneider. Jack Russell, lead vocalist for 1980s hair metal group Great White, died Thursday from multiple system atrophy and Lewy body dementia, Rolling Stone reported. He was 63. Russell announced his retirement from touring last month after his diagnosis. "I am unable to perform at the level I desire and at the level you deserve," Russell said on social media at the time. "Words cannot express my gratitude for the many years of memories, love, and support." He was remembered today by his family. Jack is loved and remembered for his sense of humor, exceptional zest for life, and unshakable contribution to rock and roll, where his legacy will forever thrive, his family wrote in an online statement. Founded in Los Angeles in 1977, Great White rode the mid-1980s metal wave with the million-selling 1987 album Once Bitten and its double platinum 1989 follow-up, Twice Shy. The band's songs Rock Me and Ian Hunter cover Once Bitten, Twice Shy were MTV mainstays. The latter reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold. Watch the video here. The band had 7 top 10 hits on the mainstream rock chart, including Save Your Love, House of Broken Love, Call It Rock and Roll, and Rollin' Stone. An earlier track, a cover of the Angels' Face the Day from Great White's 1986 sophomore album Shot in the Dark, earned heavy airplay on Los Angeles rock outlet KMET-FM before the band broke nationwide the following year. Fueled by Once Bitten, Twice Shy, the group's 4th LP, Twice Shy reached the Billboard 200 Top 10, and 1991's Hooked and 1993 compilation disc, The Best of Great White, 1986 to 1992, are certified gold. Russell left the group in 1996 but returned in 2001 when it started touring under the name Jack Russell's Great White. Great White was the headliner at the Station nightclub in Warwick, RI, in 2003 when the group's stage pyrotechnics ignited a fire in the ceiling's acoustic foam. Within 6 minutes, the entire club went up in flames, killing 100 people, including band guitarist Ty Longley, and injuring 230. It remains the deadliest fireworks accident in U.S. history. Legal action against several parties, including Great White, was resolved with monetary settlements by 2008. Russell's survivors include his wife, Heather Ann Russell, and a son, Matthew Hucko. A public memorial is planned at a later date. Gena Rowlands, a multiple Emmy winner whose captivating work in A Woman Under the Influence and as the elder and dementia-ridden Allie in The Notebook also moved moviegoers, died Wednesday surrounded by family at her home in Indian Wells, California. She was 94. No cause of death was given, but the retired actress had been battling Alzheimer's disease. Ironic in light of her famous film role. She retired from Hollywood in 2015 after earning 4 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and 2 Oscar nominations. Her Oscar noms included A Woman Under the Influence and Gloria, both born of collaborations with her late husband, John Cassavetes. The duo made an indelible mark on American independent film, not just for the often revelatory end product, but also for the DIY way they made their movies. A Woman Under the Influence was prompted by Rowlands, who wanted to delve into the difficulties faced by American women in their lives and relationships. When Cassavetes could not raise the money for the film, they mortgaged their house and borrowed from family and friends to make it happen. They shot with a crew made up in part by AFI students, and not on a pricey, purpose-built soundstage set, but in an actual residence in Hollywood. Rowlands won Primetime Emmys for The Betty Ford Story, Face of a Stranger, and Hysterical Blindness, as well as a Daytime Emmy for The Incredible Mrs. Ritchie. She earned 5 more nominations from the Television Academy, the first in 1985 for her part as the mother of a young man with AIDS in the groundbreaking An Early Frost. Her son, director and actor Nick Cassavetes, spoke to Entertainment Weekly about the Notebook role. Born in Cambria, Wisconsin, Rowland moved to New York after a stint in regional theater and made her Broadway debut in The 7-Year Itch, touring in a national production of the play. In 1956, she starred in the Broadway play Middle of the Night opposite Edward G. Robinson. Rowlands co-starred in the 26-episode syndicated TV series Top Secret and guest starred on many TV anthology series. She later was a regular guest on many top TV shows. In 1959, Rowlands appeared in the Western series Laramie and later alongside her husband, John Cassavetes, in the detective series Johnny Staccato. Rowlands made her film debut in The High Cost of Living in 1958. Rowlands and Cassavetes made 10 films together, including Faces, A Woman Under the Influence, which garnered a Best Actress nomination, and 1980's Gloria, which also spawned a Best Actress Oscar nomination. Rowlands was married to him from April 9, 1954, until his death on February 3, 1989. Survivors include her husband Robert and children Nick, Alexandra, and Zoe Cassavetes. Robert Weatherwax, a second-generation Hollywood animal trainer and the son of Lassie co-creator Rudd Weatherwax, has died. He was 83. The late trainer's son, Robert Jr., who has also continued in the family business, announced his father's death on Friday with a throwback photo of the two of them and one of the rough collie descendants of the original Lassie dog actor Pal. "It is with great sorry that I announce the passing of my legendary dog training father," wrote Robert Jr. in the Post. "He was born exactly 1 year after my grandfather's MGM Lassie, Pal. I'm proud to be the last representative of the greatest dog training family in history." Rudd created Lassie for CBS in 1954 with producer Robert Maxwell. Robert Weatherwax Sr. joined his father on the show in the early 60s, continuing to carry on the Lassie legacy after Rudd died at 77 in 1985. The family voted to sell the character's trademark in 2002. "Due to my father's genius, we transformed the training of dogs from simple props on a movie set into actors who seem to behave with human-like emotions, Robert previously said in his bio. Dad was a transitional figure in Hollywood animal training, and my experiences with him from childhood to adulthood have transformed my life and made me who I am today. I hope that my father's lifelong labor of love, of which I am proud to have shared by his side, will be uplifting in a world that, more than ever, needs some inspiration from the past, he added. In addition to his work on Lassie, Robert trained the dog Einstein from the Back to the Future films, as well as animals on Big Jake, 1971, The Thing, 1982, and Dennis the Menace, 1993. The Weatherwax family has been in Hollywood since Rudd's father, Walter. Weatherwax moved the family to Hollywood and got into the business. Robert's uncle Jack trained Toto in The Wizard of Oz, and his uncle Frank trained Spike, the dog who starred in Old Yeller, 1957.